Hey, everyone. Hey, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. On this channel, we try to cover all things reality, TV news, and gossip, as well as trending topics. And today we're going to do the Mama June season premiere recap. Yeah, so I want to try to get this done because I want to try to watch the Super Bowl with my son. And I wanted to try to get it done yesterday, but I just was not feeling well. So we're going to do it today. The episode came on Friday night. WeTV. You can actually watch it here on YouTube. You can just type in. I actually have it linked in the description box. I know WeTV has their own YouTube page, but if you watch it on the WeTV YouTube page, you are still kind of giving them the views and supporting them in a sense. So there are other ways to watch it where it doesn't actually count as like a view towards them. I know a lot of people don't want to watch them because they don't want to support the family anymore after everything that's come out over the past like year or so. I watched it. I have a link in the description box if you want to watch it on YouTube for free. I will say though, this is just like a random channel that I found it on, and the sometimes the mouth doesn't line up to what they're saying, and they zoom in and out to avoid copyright. But it's there, okay? It is there. You can watch it. But we're gonna do recaps as well. So we are coming back. This is season 6, episode 11. The last episode was, Mama June getting married. But before Mama June got married, she had her bridal shower where she was trying to convince Justin and Justin's mom that she was super close to her girls and her girls would be there. But Pumpkin and Alana had no desire to go. So she got in contact with Anna, and Anna showed up to her bridal shower, which was a shock to everyone. Even whenever Anna walked in, Dodo was like, because Dodo, to her knowledge, she knew that June had not had a relationship with Anna in quite some time. Dodo even snuck out of the bridal shower to call Pumpkin and was like, "Guess who's here?" And they're like, "Who?" And they said, Dodo says, "Your sister Anna." And Pumpkin even says, "What is she doing there?" Like it was just so like confusing for anybody that she would even be there because none of them had a relationship with Anna, right? So Anna shows up for the bridal shower. Um, After they do the wedding, she tells them about the cancer. That's this little part here where she's telling them about the cancer.
Right now to even try to even do a surgery or even try to do radiation.
So that's her telling them, like, I got stage 4 adrenal carcinoma. It's too aggressive right now. They don't know what to do, you know. Jessica comes out. They don't even tell June that she's come out, though. This is last season. Alana gets accepted into the college of her dreams. Yeah, at June's wedding, everyone was there. Jessica, Alana, Pumpkin, everybody. Last season, also, they went on a retreat for June and Jessica, Pumpkin, and Alana to all try to, mend their relationship. At that retreat, June admits to choosing men and drugs over her kids. And Pumpkin said that that's the first time I've ever heard Mama admit to choosing men and drugs over us. So that's all last season. Elle doesn't like it, but what are you talking about, Sean? It's so hot in here. You guys give me just a second. I'm a little on the sick side. I gotta turn my air on. I'm so sorry. There's been like a sickness going around my house, and I still have like a touch of it. So, okay. So, anyways, this episode starts with June in a confessional. All right, so there's all that. It starts with June in a confessional talking about Anna's cancer diagnosis, saying that it literally starts, y'all. And this is something that kind of threw me for a loop because y'all know I have literally been a big time like watch body language experts, voice analysis, and the way people say things and stuff like that. And now I'm, taking body language classes. So in this confessional, at the beginning, June is talking about Anna's cancer diagnosis, saying like Anna was having a lot of pain in her back, so she went to the doctor. Now, I actually watched Anna on TikTok explain how this went, and she said she was having a lot of stomach pain. I remember Anna on TikTok saying I was having a lot of pain in my stomach, so I went to the doctor. June said Anna was having a lot of pain in her back. She went to the doctor. They found a tumor. They did the surgery. They thought everything was okay. Eldridge does see the girls. Yes. From what my source tells me, and we actually hear Mama June and Justin talk about it from time to time. Like, oh, Caitlin's gone with Eldridge, or one time they went not too long ago, they went out to eat with Eldridge. So Eldridge sees Caitlin and he also sees Kylie. So he gets to see both of them. So she's explaining how everything went. She was having pain. She went to the doctor. They found the tumor. They removed it. She had the surgery to remove it right before the bridal shower. Fast forward a few months later, she goes back. They do some scans, and it's on her liver and her kidneys, and it's stage 4. And that's when she was diagnosed. And June starts crying and saying, I don't want to have those conversations about life insurance, the kids. This struck me as odd, you guys. A few things in this struck me as odd, and I did more research on it last night just to see if I was like correct in what I thought. So these were my thoughts when I first watched it. For one, I did not believe that she was crying because someone that knows her personally was like, "That's June's fake cry." That this person has seen June really crying, has seen June perform, and said that was June fake crying. And the way that she listed this, so usually when somebody lists something like, "Oh, what are you scared of the most?" "Oh, losing my kids, losing my spouse." They usually list them in the order that mean the most to them, right? They like, me and Sean was talking, and he was like, like if I said my motorcycle before y'all, that would mean you know, exactly. So she listed, she doesn't want to have those conversations about life insurance, the kids. So to me, it just made me feel like I want to. I've contemplated that cheap class. I've actually contemplated, but it would be for members only, probably, just so I don't get in a bunch of trouble and have drama. But to me, that told me, and I went and I did some research on this just to make sure I was going in the right direction. That is true. When somebody puts things in an order, it's usually in the order that mean the most to them. Now, one could argue, well, if you have a child that's dying, of course, life insurance is going to be an important part of that. But should it be the first thing that you're concerned over the kids? I don't know. I just feel like if my daughter was dying, my first worry would not be life insurance. It would be, oh my God, like my daughter's so young. She doesn't deserve this. Um, I'm gonna miss her. I'm her kids. Life insurance would be like the last thing, and I probably wouldn't even say it because I would figure out how to handle the expenses. I don't care what I had to do. I would figure it out. I probably wouldn't even bring it up. What kind of body language? Shut up, shy. You're so funny. Um, so that was one thing that struck me as odd. Also, watching her crying, I was like I said, somebody told me that was her fake crying. So I watched it and I'm like, I do think it's fake crying. So I went and did a little bit more research, okay? So I did some research on fake crying, and this is what I found. When people fake cry, they often touch their face, right? But there's a difference between touching your face as a part of crying versus touching your face to make it appear as if you're crying or to induce crying. So a lot of people that wants to make it look like they're crying, they will wipe away tears that are not even there. So like if you're really crying, usually you will start wiping when you feel a tear roll down or when your eyes get really moist, right? But June's eyes were not moist. We did not see any tears, but she was already wiping. So it appeared to me that she was touching her face to make it appear as if she was crying because I did not see any tears streaming down her face. I did not, her eyes did not seem, uh, they were not very watery or anything like that. So to me, it looked like she was touching her face to make it appear as if she was crying. So people that touch their face to induce crying will pull on their eyes versus wipe to like try to squeeze out a tear. They'll pull. Also, when you cry, before you start crying and before you produce tears, your nose will usually turn red, right? Crying actually begins at your nose, according to this one body language person that I was watching. So crying usually starts with your nose. You usually have like your nose will get runny, it'll get red. Criers often make a noise with their nose too. They'll sniffle, right? before they even start making tears, usually they will sniffle. Now, fake criers will imitate the sound by sucking their teeth. They'll do that rather than that because they're not producing any snot because they're not really crying. So versus them going, they'll go, they'll suck their teeth. Okay. Um, let's see. Real criers will usually self-soothe by like rubbing their chest, rubbing their hands. They'll self-soothe some type of way. I did not see her self-soothing at all. People wipe their tears, but when someone is really crying, they usually start wiping after they feel the tears. Fake. Okay, blah, 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 I already said that. Another way to spot if someone is really crying is keep an eye on their facial muscles. Because when people really cry, they'll furrow their brow like that. Um, they'll tighten their jaw. People that are fake crying, they will avoid eye contact because it makes them feel uncomfortable. And they have a fear of being caught. So they may not look at you as they're fake crying. They may kind of look away, which June did a little bit. She was kind of looking up a little bit. Also, pay attention to the consistency. Genuine emotions are usually consistent across different situations. So if you're crying, if you talk about something that makes you cry, even when you, go into something that's not about that subject anymore, it's going to take you a minute to kind of clear up your emotions. But if you're fake crying, you go from crying to all of a sudden, oh, I'm okay. Like you just go into the next topic and you're not crying anymore. Now, this was the show and it was cut, cut, cut. So it was kind of hard to tell, but that absolutely June was crying. And then all of a sudden she was not. But that could have been cut. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to judge her based off that because it could have been a cut in the scene where she had a moment. I don't know. Um, so yeah, to me, I didn't really based off everything that I saw. Her nose didn't appear red. I did not see no tears coming out of her eyes. Um, she was wiping away before there was any production of tears. Her eyes did not seem watery. I didn't see any self soothing. So I question whether or not those were real tears. That's just me. Okay. All right. So she says that nobody knows what this is like. June admits that the family just came back together and now they're having to go through this and they have no idea what the future holds. Yes, yeah, I've seen people use teardrops, not teardrops, like Visine. I've seen people put Visine in their eyes. Like, well, not I haven't seen it. I've heard of it. Back when I was younger and people used to watch wrestling, like people in my family used to watch wrestling. My uncle said something about like, "Oh, those are fake tears." I'm like, "What do you mean fake tears?" And he's like, "Oh, like some people will put Visine in their eyes and then it makes them appear like they're crying." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So the behavioral panel mentioned during Bowen's interviews that actors may use something on their hand that will produce tears. Can't recall if it was menthol or what, just an idea. Yeah, yeah. I don't think she was real crying though. But anyways, after that, we see them go to oh my goodness. We see them go to the hospital because Anna has to have an EKG to make sure her heart is okay for her to undergo chemotherapy. Pumpkin lets us know after that Anna is good to go for her chemo, but she doesn't think the family is ready for this. Now, I do have a few clips. I actually have this that we can watch. Okay, hold on.
I mean, I don't want Anna to go through what she's going through. I don't want to have the conversations. Life insurance, her kids. I mean, who wants that conversation? Nobody. I mean, I don't want Anna to go through
So that's what struck me as odd. I don't want to have to go through those conversations. Life insurance. She put life insurance first, and that threw me for a loop. So yeah, there's that one. Let's see. And then we have Anna's EKG. All right. Okay, because I had to make some adjustments to it, a lot of the clips in the show has music playing, and I had to remove the music, which kind of altered their voices. So if the voices sound a little funky, that's why. But this is where she had her EKG just to make sure that she could undergo chemo. And right here, she says, "Is that my heart?" And the lady says, "Yes." And she goes, "It's a flapping." And the lady says, "Yes, it is." And when she comes out, production asks, like, "Are you good to go?" And she's like, "Yep." And that's when they find out that she can start her chemotherapy because chemo is so tough on the body that you have to have like a good heart to be able to withstand it. So that's what they were that's what they were, doing.
She's going.
All right, let's continue. Okay, so after that, I swear. Okay. Pumpkin and Alana and Ella are having like a little girls' day. They are all in the car. They're going somewhere, and Pumpkin is talking about how they won't be able to have these girls' days much longer because um, Alana's going off to college, right? And Pumpkin seems to have a problem with the fact that Alana's going off to college in Colorado, so far away. And Alana's like, you know what, just lay off of me already, you know? So as they're in the car doing their girls' day, yeah, Anna wasn't even deceased yet. She's talking about life insurance. What the heck? I'd be telling my kids they're going to pull through and it's going to be okay. Yeah, it's really weird to hear her. And the fact that she mentioned it first is what really threw me for a loop. Like I know life insurance is important. Like you need life, but June, you literally should have tons of money, you know. And I would almost guarantee that the network probably helped with expenses. And that's just me guessing, but I guarantee the network helped a little bit. Yeah, court is April 16th, and I do plan on going. So in the car, there they are. They are having the little girls' day, and Pumpkin's asking her about college, mentioning, like, oh, once you go away to college, we're not going to be able to have these girls' days. Well, as they're riding, Anna calls them. Hold on, let me see. Oh, I don't want to forget about this. In this clip, Alana mentions in a confessional, she says she chose the college in Colorado because it has one of the best nursing programs ever, and she got a $21,000 scholarship. So, she said this before. Alana has mentioned before about it having one of the best nursing programs the in the United States. And I looked it up before, and I did not find that to be truthful. So I decided to look it up again. Now, Regis College in Weston, Massachusetts, was ranked within the top 10 in that state in Massachusetts. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I feel like I don't say that right. Now, and that's where I wonder if maybe Alana kind of got the mix up when she said, "Oh, it's like number one in the United States." Um, it's open to the public. I can go. I've already like double checked to make sure I can go. So yeah, when she said it's number one, she said, "I'm going to College of Colorado because it has one of the best nursing programs, and I got a $21,000 scholarship." Well, your scholarship, can't you use them anywhere or no? I mean, my daughter got a $52,000 scholarship, and she could have used it anywhere, to my knowledge. So Regis College is number one in the state in Massachusetts. Not now the one that she's going to, Regis in Colorado, was ranked number 25 out of 75 in the West by the American Society of Registered Nurses. So it it's ranked number 25 out of 75 in the West, but it's not ranked number one in the US. But hey, I'm glad she is going. You know what I'm saying? I just think she has some information. Yeah, scholarships didn't go to any college unless it's from one college. Yes, I guess if you're getting it from that college, I would think they're far more accredited college, such as medical school affiliate with medical schools such as Columbia or VCU, MCV. Yeah, you can get specific scholarships for specific schools. Well, yeah, because my daughter did get some scholarships from that specific school. So maybe that's what it is. But like her overall scholarship, she could have used it anywhere, right, Sean? Am I saying that correctly? Like Paris got some scholarships from. Am I saying that correctly? She got some from directly from the college, and then she just got like, I don't know, she got like 51,000 or 52,000. Okay. Okay. So as they're in the car, Anna calls Pumpkin to tell her and Alana that she has decided to marry Eldridge and she wants to do it before her chemotherapy starts, which is like 3 days later. Okay. Now, when she says that she wants to marry Eldridge, it cuts to Pumpkin in a confessional saying, like, Eldridge is good to Anna. He's good to the girls. The girls love him. He's been with her for like 6 years. And if this is what Anna needs to get her through the next phase, like, I'm all for it. So they were very supportive. They were very supportive of that. But they were kind of like, oh my God, 3 days, like, holy crap. But ultimately, they're like, you know what? We're going to get it done. Now, she asked Anna, she's like, what about your dress? Like, what do you want to do for a dress? And she says, well, we'll just go to a department store and find me a nice dress. And Pumpkin says, nope, we're going to get you a real wedding dress. Like, I guess she offered to pay for it. I don't know. Either way, after they get off the phone with Anna, they call June. Alana says maybe June can help pay for some of the expenses of this wedding. And I'm like, yeah, she needs to, right? Oh, thank you, Colby. So my daughter got like $52,000. She was recognized. She got the most amount of scholarship money out of anyone in her class, except possibly one other boy, which was the football star. But he wasn't at graduation because he was already off to college, uh, like preparing for, working out and training or whatever. So out of everybody in her class, my daughter got the most amount. It maybe except out of that guy. We don't know what he got, but he got a lot. And she was recognized. She was brought up on TV. She was brought up on the stage, recognized, and she was recognized for being a part of honors. And school came very easy for her. And my daughter went through a lot because my daughter has a lot of like things that I don't really talk about on my channel because it's not my business to talk about. But she has her struggles, so very proud of her. So Alana says, well, maybe Mama can help us with some of the expenses of this wedding. And Pumpkin says, good idea. Call her and let's see. So they called June and they're like, hey, Anna wants to get married. She wants to get married before she starts chemotherapy in 3 days. So we got to get with it. And June's like, all right, whatever she wants, let's do it. So Pumpkin says, y'all need to meet us at the dress store. So they all get ready. They meet up at the dress store and they try on some dresses. Anna tries on several dresses and she finds the one and she becomes pretty emotional. So I do think I have that one where she's trying on the dresses. Let's see.
It's hot. I like the belt. I just don't like this. I like this one.
Don't cry. Don't cry. It's really pretty though, so I know that's it.
Okay, so once again, there was music playing in the background. I had to remove it, which ended up messing up the audio for the voices, but that's her trying on her dress, getting emotional. She looked great in every dress. She really did. She looked good in every dress. And I'm glad that she found one that I think it made her emotional because she like knew it was it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so they find the dress and they head home. All right, so after they find the dress, we see June. Let me get back over here. She says that for the, how when you get married, you do the something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. So June says for the something old, they were gonna do some of June's old recipes that Anna wanted June to do her like baked bean, deviled eggs, and stuff like that. So that's what they were gonna do for the something old. Pumpkin did say like we're kind of doing a little something a little different with the something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. Because usually that's incorporated with the bride and like what she wears. So something old may be like using, your granny's old earrings or something. I don't know, or your grandma's bouquet or something like that. Something new could be like your new dress. The something borrowed may be your mom's garter or something like that. The something blue could be a necklace that has like a blue diamond or something. So usually the something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue is incorporated specifically with the bride, from my understanding. But they just kind of threw it all together and they did it a little bit different. Something old was June's recipes. She made baked beans and deviled eggs, and I'm getting gassy just thinking about it. But yeah, here we go. There they are in the store. June and Justin, like, hold on. Getting the stuff for it. She tells you the recipe, blah, 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 blah. Now, the something borrowed is Josh. They are going to borrow Josh. It really sucks that this family is not who we see on TV, because I find myself when I'm watching them just kind of laughing and being tickled at like the way that he is, like the way that he, like even sitting here, she's like, "What you doing, Dada?" And he's like, "Oh, getting registered to be a minister." And like when I'm watching them, the people that I see on the show, I like, but it's not who we know to be real. Like them on TikTok, the way they talk to people, the way they treat their kids, it's just not the same. It's like the people that we see on the show. But anyway, so the something borrowed is they are going to borrow Josh. He is registering online to be an ordained minister so he can perform the ceremony. So apparently, all you need to do to become an ordained minister is $25 and an email address. I am going to become ordained next week. Anyways, later that night, they all get together to make the flower decorations. Right here. Wait, did I miss it? Yeah, like on the show, they don't appear to be that way, right? But on TikTok and everything else is when you really see that they are. So they all get together to make the flower decorations. And Pumpkin even says, she says, it's been a long time since we've all hung out together because Anna grew up living with Granny, which is June's mom, which I think is telling because if you guys remember, June on her filing her answers to Michael Cardwell's suit to get custody of Caitlin, Michael said Anna didn't even live with June growing up. She lived with her granny. She had a very tumultuous relationship with her mom, and they weren't close. June answered by saying, "What? We weren't close. We only had like one little time of an estrangement. And yes, she lived with her mother, my mother, her granny, but that was only for a short period. It wasn't even that long." In this show, Pumpkin tells us like that Anna grew up living with their granny. Let's see. All right. I think this is it.
It's nice to have all of us sisters back together because growing up, Anna stayed with Granny. It's been a long time since we've all just been like in the same room. It's kind of wild.
So I don't know if Michael can use that as some evidence that, what June said, that Anna only lived with her granny for a short period versus Pumpkin admitting, no, she like lived there. Anyways, the next day, everyone is gathered. Let's see. Sorry, guys, I'm having to switch back and forth from a lot of things. Yeah, should not necessarily say ordained, but maybe government approved. The next day, everyone is gathered outside of Pumpkin and Josh's house. However, the show says that it's Anna's house. Y'all, I think they really did them dirty this way as well. Because y'all look at this. Let me see. This is wild that they did this. Did y'all notice that the house that they said was Anna's is actually Pumpkin and Josh's? Okay. So right here, when they flip to the next scene of being, getting ready for the wedding, they show this picture and it says Anna's house. That's Pumpkin and Josh's house. That has been Pumpkin and Josh's house. This has been their house for like 5 or 6 years, probably since 2019, I think. They film in a different house, but this is 1,000% Anna and Josh's house. I mean, Pumpkin and Josh's house, but they say Anna's house. And I was like, why did they just say this was? If you watch Pumpkin on TikTok, like you can tell this is her house. Like her office is in the back and a building in the back. It was just wild the way they did that, right? This is the house that they said Pumpkin and Josh purchased 2 seasons ago. And when they first got this house, the first season in this house, June came in to see it. Whenever June come over, she's like, "Oh, I like y'all's new house." Pumpkin made a comment saying, well, "When you save your money, you can buy a nice house like this." They literally told us that they bought. This was the house that they bought, and I rebutted that by saying, "I don't think they bought this house. It literally comes with deer heads inside. Like, I don't see Pumpkin and Josh being the type to have deer heads in their house." And they're claiming they bought it with deer heads. She literally said, and it came with deer heads. I'm like, no, they did not buy this house with deer heads in there. So I never believed for a second that they bought the house. We later found out that it was a production house rented by production. Well, now this is their new house. This season this is their new house, which is not. It's once again a house that is being rented by production. But I did think that it was pretty interesting that for some reason they chose to film in Pumpkin and Josh's house, but they said that it was Anna's house rather than Pumpkin and Josh's house. Now, here's the thing. They haven't moved at all. They have not moved since 2019. This is their real house. They have lived in this house since 2019. But when they film for the show, they use a production house. And they always say, "Oh, well, we just moved." I mean, Josh even says on this episode, "Look, we've moved 4 times in 4 years." That's not the case. When they're filming, they have a production house that they get up to and they go that morning and they film and then they go home at night. So, anyways, the next morning, everyone is gathered outside of Pumpkin and Josh's house. However, they are saying that they're saying that it's Anna's house, but whatever. It's Pumpkin and Josh's house. People is preparing for the wedding. Josh is doing the painting, wedding this way. Bear with me because I have so many little clips. Okay. Eldridge tells Pumpkin that he is nervous to be getting married. Eldridge tells Pumpkin that he's nervous to be getting married. So Pumpkin kind of walks off and tells June. She's like, Eldridge said he is so effing nervous. And June walks up to Eldridge and asks him why. She's like, "Why are you nervous?" And he says, "Well, I've never been married before." And June makes this about her by saying, "Well, I've never been married before neither." It wasn't about you, June. Like, okay. He's like, "I'm nervous. It's my wedding day. I'm nervous." And she's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, I've never been married." She's like, "Well, I hadn't been married either." And he just responds very he's like, "Well, y'all made it look easy, but I'm nervous, Someone pulls up as they are talking, and June asks Eldridge if it's somebody from his family. To which he says, "No, that's actually your mother." And June says, "I thought my mother wasn't coming," which was kind of weird and selfish of June to think that her mom should not be there. Your mom raised your daughter, and your daughter is 10 times closer to your mother than she even is to you. So why would she not be included in that? And to even think for a second that she shouldn't be there is so selfish to me, in my opinion.
You park right there, or you park over here? I don't know who that is. That's some of your people?
That's your mother.
My mother? Thought my mother wasn't coming.
Why wouldn't she come?
Oh,
like she's here
my
today.
God.
Go say hey to her.
Cute.
So Eldridge is like, go say hey to her, and she's like, F you. So there's that clip. But one thing, when her mom gets out and starts walking, Anna's daughter Kylie takes off running to her and hugs her. That's my favorite part with Eldridge. Probably one of mine too. Like hearing him laugh and just kind of be like, joking around, like, go say hey to her. And she's like, F you, and he laughs. That's probably one of my favorite parts too with Eldridge. Okay, let's see. Now bear with me because I have a million things up to show you. Yeah, like my thing is like it should have been an automatic. Like if this was my daughter getting married and she was closer to my mom, I would say, listen, I know how close you are to Granny. Please invite her. Don't worry about it being at my house. Don't worry about it being anywhere else. Like, don't worry about my feelings towards her. I'm going to be civil. Please invite her. Okay, so in a confessional, which I thought was really interesting, in a confessional, June says that she has not talked to her mom in 10 years because there was a document that only her mom had access to that was sold to the tabloids. And she assumes her mom sold it. But then she says it was sold to the tabloids for $500. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, what? Okay. She says, I haven't spoken to my mom in 10 years because she sold something to the tabloids, something that she only had the ability to have. And she sold it for $500. Well, how do you know how much she sold it for? Did they tell you that they got it from her? I doubt it. Most outlets, like, they're not going to tell you who they got something from. You know what I'm saying? So I call BS on that. I call BS on her saying here's the thing. You guys would be surprised what people can get when they pull a FOIA. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even I saw on Reddit people saying like, oh, if it concerned like the situation with Anna, she was a minor. So, I mean, even the Duggars, like whenever they sued like Springfield, because they released everything concerning those girls being are abused by their brother, their names, everything. Nothing was redacted. So, I don't know. How would she know the price? Exactly. So, and my thing is like in like June or July of last year, Anna got upset with you because you told TMZ allegedly that her cancer was terminal. Or maybe it wasn't in June or July when it was put out, but in June or July was when Anna had reason to believe that you were the one that gave them that information. Tabby, do you know anything about this? Because I was told by one of my sources that as late as of June or July of 2023, Anna quit talking to June for a little bit because someone had sold the info to TMZ that Anna's cancer was terminal, and she had reason to believe that it was June. Anna did not want the public to know that yet, from what I was told. And TMZ found out, ran the story, and Anna thought for some reason that it was June that sold the story. So my thing is like, you've sold so many stories about y'all's family because your mom. So I don't believe for a second that's why she doesn't talk to her mom. I believe she doesn't talk to her mom because her mom went on Dr. Phil with Anna and called June out. And she did. She called June out. She was like, June, like, I don't know what to do about her. Like, her boyfriend did X, Y, and Z. She took her boyfriend's back versus her daughter's. Like, it's disgusting. June's mom literally called June disgusting. And I think that's why June doesn't talk to her mom. I don't believe that her mom sold anything. And even if she did sell something, June, you sold stuff too. So there's that. Okay. Okay, so Tabby's T said, yes, ma'am, that is true. Also, Anna found on live on Reddit, and she busted out crying and ended the live. I had to call her calmer. Okay, so she found out while she was live that the story had been sold to TMZ because somebody posted it on Reddit. Okay. So how horrible is that? And I don't know why Anna believed that June sold it, but she had some reason to believe that June was the one that told TMZ. So there's that. So if your daughters can forgive you for all the crap that you've done, why not forgive your mom? Like, my goodness. I mean, I don't know. There's like a double standard there. Anyways, okay, so after that, we see all that. We see her mom show up. Let's fast forward. And then Anna's father shows up, which I've never known anything about Anna's father. So it was cool seeing him show up. And but his name is David. And June walks up to him. She gets pretty upset, she's telling Anna's father the situation with Anna is pretty serious, and I want to make sure you know that. And then his wife walks up and is like, "Yeah, he knows that. We understand." June tells David that it shouldn't be like this, that they should go before her, that you shouldn't have to bury your children. And she said, "But I hope we have many more years left with her." And I think I have this clip as well. Oh, actually, I have the clip of Kylie running up to Sandra. So I'll show you guys that. So this is when June's mom gets there. This shows you. So that's Kylie. That's Anna's youngest daughter who ran up to her grandmother, gave her a big old hug. And Caitlin is over there with Pumpkin and Alana. And June walks over to them and says, "Hey, Alana, your grandmother over there, your granny's over there." And Alana and Pumpkin start talking about how they don't talk to her, they don't like her, right there in front of Caitlin. Right there in front of Caitlin, who is also very close to her granny.
Oh my gosh, that's so awkward. That's so awkward. I don't either.
See? So I think, them Caitlin hearing Alana and Pumpkin say like, "Oh my God, that's so awkward. We don't like her. We don't talk to her." But Caitlin being super close to her, I feel like that could possibly have some influence. Everybody read Tabby T's comment if you guys don't mind. And then here is the clip of June talking to David. And this is Anna's biological dad. I've never known of this guy. So there was music in the background once again, so it messes up their voice. But she was crying.
Got me choked up too. I know that I want Diane to be a part of this too. You know, we're all upset, but today it's about her. Yes. We don't really want to. Oh, we're trying not to talk about it too much, but it's serious. I want you to know that. You know that. It's a lot to handle. It is.
Okay, so she's like informing him that it's serious. Mind you, Anna's had a closer relationship with her dad as well over the years than she even has with June. So he probably, I mean, I feel like she probably keeps her dad informed of what's going on as well, but June is like over there telling him what's happening, even though she's super close to her dad.
Well, Grandson hates her.
Oh, sorry, wrong one. All right, let me remove that. There's so many things I got up on my page right now. All right, so there she is talking to him. And then inside they're doing her hair and her makeup. Let me get that off. Never mind. Inside they're doing her hair and her makeup. And Pumpkin gives her a little gift before her wedding. And it's a little compact and it says something about like my sister. It's cute, but somebody on Reddit did find this on Temu, like a little $2 compact mirror on Temu. I don't even care though, it's a wedding gift. It was last minute, but how was it so last minute you had time to order something off Temu? Because Temu takes a couple weeks, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe that was something she already had that she was selling on her page. I don't know. But she gave her this little mirror. Let me see if I can find it. I'm not even seeing it on Reddit anymore. Y'all bear with me. You know, it made Anna feel good, and that's what, you know, her sister got her something, and she liked it, and she read it, and she was like, "Oh, I can't finish reading it. It's gonna make me cry." So she put it up. Trying to find it because it shows like Anna holding it, and then it shows it on Temu, how you can order it from Temu. But, you know, whatever. But I do think it was something she already ordered and maybe she sold on her page because there was no way she had time to order that when they were planning a wedding in 3 days. Dude, did somebody delete it? It was getting some pretty negative comments, I will say that, because people's like, "Who cares?" You know, she got her a gift.
Is it too late?
All right, hold on. Because the music.
Go on a little bit.
Ellis today and having a lot of thoughts after this. He said he's feeling blah, but he did say he appreciated me checking on him. So it's going to be kind of, oh yeah, I can't even imagine what it's like for, you know, people to watch this back.
Again, I love you.
So that was her trying to raise a little compact with a little cute saying on it, you know, whatever. Okay, so they get her ready. After they get her ready, she has her dress on, and her dad is outside waiting on her, and he has his back turned to her. And she comes out, and her dad sees her for the first time. So let's watch that really quickly. Oh, also the audio. The audio is really weird because I had to take the music out, and it somehow like really messes with the audio, especially if they're like whispering. So he goes, "Oh, you're so beautiful," but it sounds really weird.
You're so beautiful.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
And don't rub your eyes.
I hate it already. Sorry. I hate to
The
break
most
this up,
beautiful
but I
girl in
want
the
to get
world.
you in the side, okay? Because I need elders to come through so we can start the process. All right, we're gonna
He says you're the most beautiful girl in the world.
get it started, y'all.
All right, I love you, Daddy.
Oh, y'all, that is literally like, oh, so sweet. A lot of people on Reddit too was mad that she rushed them. Like, let this girl and her daddy have their moment. Like he's trying to have a moment, you know, like why rush them? Anyways, they start the wedding. Anna's daughters are the flower girls. So we see them. Let me see. Josh, the minister up there. And now it's a freaking preview, even though I've watched this all the way through 3 times. Okay. Let's watch them do their vows. So, well, no, we'll watch. Whenever Anna comes out, everybody's pretty emotional, you know. I mean, everybody there realizes that like Anna has cancer. They don't know what the future holds for everybody. So everybody there kind of realizes that she may not be here in a short period of time, you know. Okay, so there's her walking down the aisle. I can't show too much of it because I didn't edit through this. Her dad walks her down the aisle, and when her dad is walking her down the aisle, the grandmother Sandra, like reaches over and like rubs them when they're walking down the aisle, and she's like crying and everything. She gets down there to Eldridge. Look how pretty she looks. And then they do their little vows.
I'm glad that me and you met, and you're helping me with the girls, and I appreciate it, and helping me going through what I'm going through now. And I really do love you.
Well, I love you.
Aw.
And I just want to let you know that I appreciate everything you do for me. And I promise to be by your side through thick and thin. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for us.
Eldridge, if you would like to place the ring on the bride's finger and repeat after me.
So sad. Yeah, from everything that I hear about Eldridge, he's very laid back. And he's like a non-confrontational person from what I've heard. So like I have this feeling, and I don't know this because I don't talk to Eldridge, but I have this feeling that even if he had an issue with the fact that June has taken over Caitlin, he would struggle to know what to do with it. Like I feel like Eldridge knows Anna's wishes, but I feel like Eldridge probably is worried. Like, can he afford a lawyer to fight for her? If he can't, then he's just kind of got to sit by the wayside. If he can, but then he fights and he loses, well, you know what they're going to do with him, right? They're going to throw him away. Say he was to lose, which I don't feel like anybody would really lose up against June, but say he did, and June got custody of Caitlin. Well, then they would probably never let him see Caitlin. So I feel like he's just unsure of what to do. So he's just doing like what he's doing is he just lives in the house that him and Anna had, and he goes to work, and every evening he either goes to see Caitlin or Kylie, from my understanding. Every evening he fills his weekends up with trying to be with one of the girls, taking them out to do this, taking them to go eat, taking them to the movies, taking them to do this. But I don't think he's well, and I think he knows that June is not honoring Anna's wishes. Okay, so we see that they kiss, and then after that, let's see. Yay, they're married. After that, oh my goodness, I swear. They do their dances. So Anna and Eldridge dance, and then Eldridge dances with Caitlin, and Anna dances with Kylie, and then they all dance as a family together. And Anna's like, Eldridge is y'all stepdaddy now, which I really do feel like she married Eldridge just to kind of like solidify that things would maybe stay the way that they were. Michael getting the kids and Eldridge still being able to see the kids. And, I saw on Reddit somebody say something about, well, Caitlin would go to June because June is Anna's first of kin, but she's not because Eldridge is now. So see right there, she says Eldridge is your stepdaddy now. So the next day, I think it's the next day. I'm pretty sure it's like the next day. She has her first round of chemo. Right after her first round of chemo, her hair like started falling out, leaving her with hair thinning, and bald spots. So she decided to shave her hair, and she actually had Eldridge cut it and then let Josh shave the rest.
Yeah, I'm ready. Ready? Okay. It's okay. We're all here together. Give me a little pop rock. There you go. There you go.
When Josh and Eldridge were shaving my head off, sitting here thinking about like, dang.
I do think it's funny. She said when they were shaving my head off, my head right on off. I thought it was so funny that they didn't even say, "Girl, no, your hair." She's like, when they were shaving my head off. But she looks really pretty even without hair. She's got her turban on, a little hair wrap. And June did buy her like an expensive wig, but she didn't like the wigs.
Like, I can't believe my hair's gone, and now it's kind of like reality sitting in, like, damn, I actually got this cancer. It's okay though. I still miss my hair. R.I.P. the hair.
The way that she says that's okay though. Like, it's sitting in that I have this cancer, but that's okay though. And she was always like that on the show, like on her TikToks. Like when people would bring it up, like, oh, I'm so sorry. She's like, it's okay. It's okay.
He's sitting in, like, damn, I actually got this cancer. It's okay though. I still miss my hair. R.I.P. the hair.
Sad. It's really sad. Now we flip over to house number 4. Yeah, she hated wigs, but each wig had their own personality. I don't think I ever seen her in a wig though. Like I heard her talk about them about how June bought her like this $1,000 wig, and it was like really itchy and like in the Georgia heat, it was like sweaty, and she didn't like them. Okay, so we jump to 1 month later. Anna has her 3rd round of chemo. She said it was terrible. She was sick, dizzy, nauseous. Then 1 month from that, we see Pumpkin and Josh at their new house again. Josh says they've moved 4 times in the last 4 years. So y'all remember the last house, the big house that they supposedly bought? Pumpkin even made the comment that when you save your money, you can buy a nice house like they did. But now on last night's episode, she says that their landlord at their old house decided to sell the house and only gave them 30 days to get out. So she said as much as her and Josh would like to buy something, 30 days was not enough time to find something and close on it. So they had to find something to rent. And because this rental property is in the sticks, they got a really good deal on it. That's what she said. And I'm like, do they think we don't remember like 2 seasons ago when they were talking about buying the other house? Like, I remember that. Okay.
Moved 4 times in the last 4 years.
So here's the deal. Our landlord back at our old house told us that he was selling the house and gave us 30 days to get out. And although me and Josh would love to purchase something, 30 days is not enough time to close on a house. So we got a 4-bedroom, a 3-bath house. And because it's out in the sticks, we got a really good deal on it.
Do they get better deals when a house is like out in the woods? I don't know. Maybe. I guess. Okay. So yeah. Pumpkin tried to convince us that Alana and Ella are in the same room, but we know Alana was already living with Draylon at this point. Like that's what it sounds like, right, Sean? Sean says, so did they get evicted? It's kind of what it sounds like. But really, they didn't get evicted. They were never living in that house to begin with. So yeah, she tries to convince us that Alana and Ella share a bedroom together. But at this point, Alana had been living with Draylon in the house that June and Justin had lived in whenever June first moved back to Georgia, like 2 years or so ago. Whenever June first came back and rented that double wide, you guys know wherever Pumpkin and Jessica pulled up, and Jessica and Pumpkin did not even know that June had moved back to Georgia, but they had her on like Life 360, so they drove to the house, and June came outside, and June's like, well, you want to meet my new boyfriend? And Pumpkin's like, no. And she's like, Justin. And Pumpkin says, I said no. He comes out, and Pumpkin says, what happened to your teeth? You lose them to drugs? Why you look like Sugar Bear? And he turned around, he said, I'm going back inside. Y'all can have this. That's the house. Whenever June and Justin got serious, they had to move back to Alabama due to Justin's legal issues. They gave that house to Alana and Draylon and Draco, as I think his name. So them 3 all lived in that house. Alana did not live with Pumpkin and Josh. She had been living anyways. So, but Ella, I will say Ella is pretty convincing when she tells Alana that she wants her to go ahead and go away to college so she can have the other bed. They're even having Ella play into this little story, but I guess they're like, this is TV, we're actors and actresses, so even though it's a lie, we still need you to say this, Anyways. All right here. Oh, no, not there. Let me see. They're getting ready to plan for Alana's graduation, and Pumpkin's like, so should we invite Draylon? And Ella's like, of course we should invite Draylon. That's Alana's boyfriend. Of course we should invite him. And then Pumpkin brings up Draylon's been causing a little issues lately because he got into some legal trouble.
Invite Draylon.
I mean, duh. It's Alana's boyfriend.
Draylon's added a little bit more stress onto all of us. He's been arrested for running from the police and having Alana in the car. Alana's kind of iffy on whether she wants to go to Colorado or not. Knowing that he has legal issues is the real reason I think she's being iffy about it. I mean, he can't even drive right now. He has a suspended license. Like, he doesn't even know if he can freaking leave. I'm sure he hasn't done anything to see if he can leave. And if he can't leave, we know damn good and well she's not going to leave.
So I'm love how they just gloss right over his crimes. Right. So right there, if you follow them on social media, Draylon drives left, right, and center. He's always driving. He drove them to Colorado. He's always driving, right? Oh, thank you, Sonia. But yeah, she glosses right over. She's like, oh, might have been causing us a little bit of issues. He ran from the cops, had Anna in the car, Alana in the car. She fails to mention he was under the influence. He had drugs in the car, and he had a weapon in the car. And they had to do the pit maneuver, which put them all in danger. Like, it's just like, oh, little bitty thing happened, not a big deal. It doesn't matter. Gloss right over it. After that, we see June and Justin pulling up at a hotel, because at this point, June and Justin, they still live in they still live in Georgia. Alabama. They're living in Alabama. It's just come out that Anna has stage 4 cancer. So they're driving back and forth. When Anna has chemo, they're driving from Alabama to Georgia, renting a hotel to be there for her chemo and stuff. Well, the reason they're driving back and forth and they can't just move back to Georgia is because Justin is on probation still. So until he gets off probation, they're having to, do the drive back and forth thing. So they pull up to a hotel, they unload everything, or Justin unloads everything, puts it on one of the little carts, and they go up to the room. Now, when they're opening the door to the room, it's kind of funny, because June's like, you ready to get naked? And he's like, nope. And listen, if you watch them on TikTok, a lot of people believe that Justin's over June. He doesn't even pretend to like her most of the time. Like, June's literally on TikTok the past few days crying about the fact that Justin doesn't want to be her Valentine. And she said the other day, they were having a little tiff, and she's like, well, you're the one that said you don't want to be intimate anymore. And he's like, yep, sure did. So,
You ready to get butt ass naked?
No.
Ow! Just run me over.
Not only did she say, you ready to get butt naked, did he say no, but then he ran her over. He's like, get out of my way. Go to bed. Let me injure her real quick so she don't want to do nothing. I'm just kidding. But anyways, it was kind of wild. Anyways, after they get into the hotel and they're kind of getting settled, they get a call from Sheriff Brunson, which is the sheriff out in Alabama. And I'm like, do you really, I don't know, but this is weird to me that the sheriff is the one always talking to them. Like, when they got court, the sheriff is going outside and bringing them in, and it's always the sheriff. I don't know. I feel like, does anybody else, is your sheriff that involved? But yeah, the sheriff calls and tells Justin that he is officially off probation. June tells us in a confessional that Justin was released early. So he got off probation last year around, let's see, when would this have been? This probably would have been around March, maybe. It was before her graduation. So anyways, he was supposed to be on probation, from my understanding, 3 years. But June says in the confessional, she says, Justin went to Sheriff Brunson, told him the situation with Anna and her cancer and how we was having to travel back and forth a lot. And Sheriff Brunson did us a favor and released him from probation early so we can move. It is weird, right? The sheriff being the one so involved. Maybe the sheriff just wants to be on the show, so he's the one that handles everything. Or maybe his employees don't want to be a part of it, so he has to handle it. I don't know, but I did think it was weird that the sheriff himself is the one doing everything for the situation. So Justin is released from probation, but if they would not have released him, if it wasn't for Anna getting sick with cancer, Justin would still be on probation, from my understanding. So, at least not forget, okay? All right. After that, it is the day of Alana's graduation. I always confuse their names. Yeah, the sheriff never called anyone I know. They may pound on the door. Yeah, it's kind of weird. So they're getting ready for the graduation. And Pumpkin asked, before I even point that out, it's the day of Alana's graduation. Ella, let me see if I can back it up to that part. I don't have it like, let me see if it's playing music. Yes, crap. Well, Pumpkin walks into the kitchen. It's 7 a.m. And Ella says, "Can you open this Coke for me?" And Pumpkin grabs it, opens it, and says, "You really think you need a soda at 7 o'clock in the morning?" And Ella says, "Yep." And she gives it right back to her. And then she asks Ella, she says, "What do you want for breakfast? Because we're going to be going a lot today. Like we got Alana's graduation. We're going to be there for a long time. So what do you want for breakfast? You want powdered donuts?" And she's like, "Yep." And I'm like, powdered donuts and Coca-Cola for breakfast at 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh my goodness, that girl is going to be full of sugar and probably feel bad in a couple of hours. Oh my goodness, like powdered donuts and Coca-Cola. Okay, then. All right. Later on, this is where she's like, open it for her.
7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yes.
Pumpkin asked Josh if he thinks they should go ahead and give Alana her little graduation gift now because they got her a big one, which was the car, obviously, but they got her a little one as well. And she's like, that way, if we give her the little one, she'll think it's the only thing that she's getting and she won't expect the big one. And he's like, no, you shouldn't. Today is her graduation. Let's let her worry about graduating. I don't want her to worry about college right now because her little gift had something to do with college. He's like, just let her enjoy today to be her graduation day. Don't give her the gift now. Give it to her later, right? Well, Pumpkin's like, I'm giving it to her now, which to me, I don't know, like I felt like that was like very disrespectful of her husband. She didn't even say, well, babe, I really want to. Like, I don't even feel like when you ask your husband, hey, should we do this? And he's like, no, I don't think so. And this is why I think we shouldn't do it. And then you just turn around and you say, I'm doing it anyways. That's like disrespectful. Like you're not valuing your husband's opinion at all. He said, I'm going to give it to her now. I don't care. And I'm just like, I don't know. To me, you just completely do not respect your husband's opinion, but whatever. Okay. So after that, she goes to the bedroom to like get the gift together. And then Dodo texts her when she's in the bedroom. And Dodo apparently tells her, like, hey, we got the date wrong for the graduation. We're actually out of town. Because she had texted Dodo and said, listen, we all need to be at the park by like 9 o'clock this morning to get ready to go to the graduation. And she's like, Dodo's like, oh, my bad. Like, I had the wrong date. I'm sorry. Me and Amber are out of town going to Florida. And she is very upset about that, which I understand. I would probably be a little upset about that as well because they are very close to Dodo. But I probably wouldn't have, I don't know if I would have made such a big deal about it on the show, but I would have been a little upset. Yeah, Megan says, I don't get why they were so upset with Dodo not coming to graduation. Usually your parents or siblings attend, not one entire side of your family. I know where I graduated, you only get 10 tickets. Where my kids graduated, you only get like 10 tickets. So like your whole extended family can't come. Yeah, and why even ask Josh, do you think we should give her the gift if you're not going to even respect a tiny bit of what he said when he said no? So yeah, I guess Alana's graduation, well, I know Alana's graduation you didn't need tickets because I know you didn't. Anybody could have just went. But yeah, they made shirts for Dodo and Amber's son, and somehow Dodo like got the date wrong and was gone. But she was very mad about it.
This is too much,
She was very mad about the fact that I can't play it, it's got music. Anyways, she was upset about it. Here you only get 2 or 3 tickets for graduation. Oh my goodness. My whole family, like it's 8 in our family. So for Paris's graduation, thankfully we know a guy who was going to be going to work, so he wasn't going to graduate. He gave us his 10 tickets, so we had enough for everybody. But it was tough. Anyways, so yeah, Dodo texts Pumpkin letting her know that they had the wrong date for the graduation. Her and Amber were out of town. Pumpkin was not happy about it at all. Josh also receives a call from someone, and he's asking the person if he can make it. After that, Josh calls someone else telling that person, like, hey, I need you here by 11, no later. After that, we see Draylon arrive. I thought this was so hilarious. I thought this was so hilarious, y'all. That's like an Uber or something that Draylon hops out of, and he's like, bye, see you later, Uber. Draylon does not, like, that boy probably drove there. That's probably somebody in production's van. They drove down the road and filmed them pulling back up because Draylon drives. Even though he had a suspended license, that dude, I'm pretty sure he still drove on a suspended license. Either way, Draylon arrives, walks in, goes upstairs to where Alana is getting ready. They start talking about her college plans. And she's like, you know what? I really don't know what to do. Like at this point, I'm graduating today, but I'm not even happy. Like I don't even feel like I can be happy because of everything going on. She's like, I got, you got the legal issues. We don't know what's going to happen there. And then Anna being sick, like I just don't know what to do. And he says, I'm not trying to hold you back though. Like if I can't go, you can still go. And she says, well, I don't want to go without you though. Like that's going to be really boring. And like, I'm not going to feel like good about going without you or whatever. She says that with her being unsure of if Draylon can go and everything going on with Anna, she isn't sure if she should even leave to go to college, that it just doesn't feel right. They're getting ready to leave. Pumpkin gives Alana her gift. And it is a shirt, and it's something about college because Alana goes, oh, that's cute. And she's like, well, since you're going to be leaving to go to college. And then it's a license plate. And she goes, I don't even know why you would get me this. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to do anymore. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to go to college. Like, I don't even know why you would get me this. And she storms off upset. Josh comes inside and asks, well, what was that about? And Pumpkin says, the gift. And he tells her she should have listened to him, that Alana has a lot going on, but all she needs to be worried about that day was graduating. And I agree with him. Like, let the girl graduate without thinking about college or anything right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot going on in her life. My goodness. So we do have that little clip as well.
Give Alana her gift now, her small gift.
Sorry. Let me remove that. That's the wrong one. Sorry, guys. Did I send the wrong one? I think I sent the wrong one.
The stuff I gave her.
You don't listen. You don't take it that as advice.
Dad, here's the thing. She needs to make the decision.
I get that Pumpkin thinks Alana going to Colorado is the best thing for her, and I do too. But Alana has to figure it out on her own. Because I know at that age,
exactly,
when adults were pushing me to do something, I did the exact opposite. You're worried about college trying to be the mama, and I get it, boo. But if she doesn't go and do what she's supposed to do, that's not on you. Well, this is one of those things, boo. Like, Anna's got cancer, your mama, there's a lot of stuff going on.
But that stuff shouldn't stop her from going to Colorado. She can come back and visit.
None of this stuff is stopping her from going to Colorado, but she has a lot of things on her mind. Not everybody's able to process and put it all together.
Okay, but here's the thing is, boo, she needs to, the time is up.
So I feel like he had a good point. Like, it might not be stopping her, but she's still, like, it's on her mind. You know what I'm saying? So that was the end of the episode. She storms out, goes and gets in the car, and she's mad. But they are on their way to her graduation. So that was the episode. Next week's episode, I guess it's going to be the graduation. More discussions about, Anna's sickness. And something is going on with the graduation. Oh, thank you, Mariska. Something is going on with the graduation because they're like, June said something about she hasn't made her first payment. She hasn't filled everything out. So I feel like that's why there's like an emphasis on graduation. Like, I don't think there's things that need to be completed that I think she's not completing maybe because she's unsure. Either way, Josh Pumpkin should have taken action right away when it comes to Draylon's situation. I agree. Pumpkin and Josh play all goody on TV, on social media. Sure, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they were this way in real life, that's why I was like such like big fans of the show. And, I'm like, oh, look what they're doing for Alana. But in real life, Alana does not live with them, hasn't lived with them, has been dating Draylon since she was like 15 and Draylon was like 18 or 19 or something. Draylon had just gotten like arrested like a year prior to sleeping with a 15-year-old. You know, like there's so much, I don't know, it's just way different. You know, she could just defer college for a year, which she is off to college. She has went to college. Couple of things. I'll continue doing recaps, you guys. This recap lasted a little bit longer than I anticipated, but we're going to continue to keep, you know, do the recaps. I think Josh is controlling. Yeah. Couple of things. Okay. There's going to be some part during the season where they get really mad at June about stealing money. And Alana goes out to Justin and says, "Did you really know my mom stole money from me?" Well, here's the thing. They've already known that. They already knew that the girls had trust funds and June took that money. So I'm kind of confused on why this is coming back into play. I'm thinking we're going to find something else out. You guys know how Alana keeps saying, "I have a $21,000 scholarship." Years ago, June had made a comment that TLC was putting some money away for Alana to go to college. It was TLC, not WeTV, if memory serves me correctly, because it was the Honey Boo Boo. The Here Comes Honey Boo Boo was supposed to put money in an account for Alana to go to college. So I'm wondering, because we've been knowing that June took the girls' trust fund money. Whenever Alana moved in with Pumpkin, about a year later, whenever June was selling the house and selling all their belongings, Pumpkin and Alana hired an attorney to get access back of Alana's trust fund. And when they got it back, from my understanding, there was nothing in it. So they've been aware, unless this is just they're acting like they weren't and they just found it out. But I'm wondering if this is something new. I'm wondering if the $21,000 that Alana thought that she had for school, if they're going to find out during the season that June spent that and she does not have that. Because also we hear in a clip, we hear Pumpkin says, "Are you even going to pay anything for her college? Like, are you even going to help?" Another thing, since June is blown through the girls' trust funds, why not pay it back now? Why not pay it back now? You're having the show, you're getting paid, you have brand deals, you and your hubby have this little business over on TikTok, you're making money on TikTok, you're making money in all these, you have so many avenues of income. Why not? You can't pay Anna back. She's passed away. But you could put money in an account for her daughters, and you could put money in an account for Pumpkin, Jessica, and Alana that you stole from them. You still have the ability to pay it back. So why not do that? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Becky. Yep. But I feel like if they were to come to her and say, "You know what, Mom, you're making money. You owe us X amount of money. Start paying it back every month. Pay such and such." You know, I mean, literally $35,000 a month is what you're making when you're in season. Pay it back. Right. I wish they would cover real situations on the show, but they probably won't. Fluff and filler as usual. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. A lot of people don't have common sense. It's my pet peeve. If everyone could go find it, it would be shocking if they actually used it after they found it. Yeah. That would require ethics and accountability. That is true. Heck, she didn't even want to pay child support. Exactly. Exactly. And she wants to fault someone who maybe didn't pay child support, but paid for his daughters in other ways. She wants to call him out like, "Oh, he didn't even pay child support," but he paid for his daughters. Okay. That's true, Julie. Yep. Susan, you would be shocked at how much money they make on TikTok. It's wild. Like, people buy their stuff, which I will say I've seen that people have reported Justin for copyright infringement because he's using like the Louis Vuitton logos and like the Starbucks logos and the Disney logos on the t-shirts and the tumblers that he's making. I've seen that he's been reported. Okay, so how does June's disability work with what she makes? Okay. I'll see if I can find that out. It is confusing because I've always heard I've always heard that if you are on like disability or something, you can't make too much money or you'll lose it. Ask about. I know that was supposed to be like in the process of this court situation. From my understanding, it was going to be asked that the money that Caitlin's making from this be put to an account that 2 people have to be on, not just June. That way June can't spend it. I wonder if June's still in money. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that Michael's side will bring up the fact that June has spent all of her kids' trust funds for sure. Okay. Anyways, you guys, that was this week's episode. We're going to continue doing the recaps. I may do some shorter version videos, like pre-recorded, and put up for everything that happened, in the past few episodes or whatever. Super Bowl starting now. But yeah, I got to go because the Super Bowl is starting now. So I got to go. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.